excuse me, is Medellin too dangerous for the passport bros? I got one of my homies right here, one of my return guests here, Jay Clyde.
Yes, sir. It's
What's
our
good?
first time live together. It's always been online for the interviews.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'll be in a different city and all that good stuff, man. So what's good, family? We in here.
Chilling, man.
Now, Jay Clyde has been rocking with me for the last, since what, 2018, 19?
Yeah, it was a while. Yeah.
So, to give you guys some backstory, I think it was during the pandemic. Right.
The first time I went live was on, it was right before the pandemic. It was in 2020. I was in Salvador at the Carnival in Salvador.
Right.
February of 2020.
Right, man. And we did that interview. I think he was at the Carnival.
I was at Carnival in Salvador, Bahia.
Right.
I did the interview from my hotel there. That was my first time on your channel. I was doing that time. That was February 2020.
Yeah, man. So this is before everything kicked off and passed all this stuff. You know, we were just brothers traveling the world, and it was actually gave some really dope information.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't really familiar. I had been to Rio, but I'd never been to Salvador Bahia. So, what do you think now of the growth of this right now?
It's crazy how it grew, man, because I know you always say on your channel, like, I think when I did that interview, you might have been at like 200 or 300 subscribers during that
Right.
time, man.
Yeah.
So, and I know when I was out there for the Carnival in Salvador, I thought it was a pretty good interview, but you didn't have as many subscribers like you got now, man. So I don't know how many, I don't even know how many views that video got. But it's definitely grown since then, man. That was only what, like 3.5 years ago, and the whole movement's changed. It's got here, the whole movement changed. Your channel blew up. It's so much has gone down since that last time, man. So,
Yeah, man, we was a little quiet little sector on YouTube.
Yeah.
Just kind of like, we had our own little small community. You know, shout out to everybody in the chat. You know, shout out to all the guys traveling the world. And we knew we had something.
Yeah.
Because we would have like hour-long lives, and dudes would be like, when next time you going live, we going to have on next. Because it's one thing to hear somebody of a different ethnicity talk about traveling, but most of the time you want to hear it from somebody that looks like you, just to make sure that the experience could be possibly similar, right?
Right, exactly.
So let me ask you this, brother. Like, we're gonna get to the subject at hand. Is Medellin too dangerous for the passport bros? But I've asked you this before. What initially piqued your interest at traveling the world?
I mean, I've always been interested in traveling. I actually got a minor in college in geography, so traveling in different countries and geography has always been a thing of mine. I started traveling in international travels. In 2007, I went to Rio de Janeiro for the first time in 2007, and it wasn't on any kind of craziness. It was on a family trip. My family, like a group of us, we would go on like family trips every other year. So that particular year, the group decided on Rio de Janeiro way back in 2007 before all this craziness happened. And it was about 13 of us. We went out there to Rio de Janeiro for like 10 or 11 days. And that was my first time getting a taste of like going international. And I fell in love with Brazil so much that I went back every year since 2007. I think I missed a couple of years. I know I haven't been this year, like it might have been like 2009, 2010, but I've been to Brazil every year since then. I've been to Rio, Salvador Bahia, Sao Paulo, quick little pit stops in Brasilia, but I've been to Brazil probably 30 times. Been here to Medellin close to 30 times. Been to some other places like Mexico, Bahamas, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, so Panama, been to a few places, so Aruba. So yeah, man, that first Brazil trip, that's what got the travel bug started. And I've been traveling since. The only regret I have, I wish I would have started my YouTube channel back in 2007. I would have probably been like the king of Brazil now. And like if you look, I started my YouTube channel, I want to say in 2008, but I wasn't forward thinking enough to think like upload content on YouTube. Otherwise, yeah, I would have been like the Brazil guy for sure if I would have been uploading content since 2007.
Right. But it's still like early. Like this is still pretty early. Let me get super chat real quick. Shout out to the young. Hold on, I got you, bro. I gotta wait till it come back up on the screen. Hold on. Okay, shout out to Dejan Menzies, $10 super chat, man. Really appreciate that. He says, I'm fed up with the high cost of rent in the United States. For cost of living, what do you prefer, Thailand or Colombia? For cost of living, Thailand and Colombia can be very similar, but I will say if you go to Thailand in the months of, let's say, anywhere from March, April, May, June, like between March and June, and sign a long-term lease, maybe even 2 years, you can lock down a real low rate of probably like $300-400 a month. You know what I'm saying? Colombia, same thing, similar. If you do like a long-term lease, you can lock down pretty low rate. I know cats that come out here, they put $3,000 down, and that be cover them for like the whole year or something like that. So you know, it's all about how you look for it, man. But appreciate that $10 super chat. Now, what's interesting is I kind of kicked off my travels in Brazil as well, right?
Okay.
Just giving guys an example of how you feel when you're on the way back from America. That in Brazil, I don't know what it is about Brazil, but when you leave in Brazil, going on the way to that airport, it hits you so hard, man.
Yeah, man. Real talk. Like I've been to a few places, and Brazil is the only place where I do have that feeling when I'm going back home. Like, dang, man, I'm gonna miss this place. Like it's like I've been here to Colombia multiple times, and I don't have that same feeling when I'm on the airplane going back home from there. But from Brazil, it's always there, and I don't have stories as far as me crying on the airplane or anything like that. But it's definitely like a feeling of dang, I'm gonna miss this place. And it might be. I think part of the reason why fellas like feel that way is because it's so far and it takes so long to get there. Like it might not be something that they know that they're not going to be able to do it again for like a few more months or maybe another year or so. So you just notice you're leaving that spot that you had so much fun, and you're not going to be back for a while. So that might be why, like, if I leave here, I'm going to be right back like next month. So I think that's part of it. It's just you're leaving there and you might not come back. You know, fellas not going to Brazil every month or 6, 7, 8 times a year. So I think that's part of it too.
And you know, another thing is like I recognized this maybe a couple of days ago when I was in Mexico, right? I was like, I know North America has beautiful women. We all know, especially, you know, being from Atlanta, you know, the South and everything, beautiful women everywhere. But I realized that the reason that these women are so beautiful is because it's more natural. Did you see that while you here in Colombia, Brazil?
Definitely.
Like, it's a little weave game here, but not as much as it is in the States. That's not a shock, but it's just
that's
true.
True. I always say, man, it's beautiful women everywhere, man. It's beautiful women in the United States too. It's just other stuff you have to deal with. But it's definitely different types of vibes.
Man.
Some of these other places.
Yeah. So before we do a little tour, shout out to the Passport Bros hats, man. We got these available. You see me rocking them right now. The Passport Bros, the PB hats, man. We got the shirts as well. You know, guys, pull up with the shirts.
Born to Rome.
With the Born to Rome shirt.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Shout out to Jay Clyde, man. Let's give us a little tour, bro.
Okay. Yeah, I gave a little sneak peek, and I got the full video coming up on my channel. So we got like a little living room area, man. Kitchen. We got this nice little.
Oh, look at the view.
With these nice views up here, man.
Look at the view.
All the Medellín, man. So,
come on, man. How can they hate on the Passport, bro? Look at this, bro.
So that's it, man. Just out here having a little fun. This is a little 3-bedroom spot. Go to the other spot?
Yeah. We can
okay,
go right,
yeah. So we go out here. Got a couple bedrooms.
Party at Jay Clyde's spot.
Right.
Look at that view, fellas. Look at that view from the room, man.
Yes, sir.
You can't beat that.
So that's bedroom number 1. Got a little office area here. And you got bedroom number 2.
Views, 360 views,
here,
man.
You got the main bedroom here. And I gotta turn the light off. I did a little short on my channel last night, but I gotta show it to them. They saw it with the light on. Now show it to them with the light off.
All right.
So you got the nice views right there.
Look at that, man. From the bedroom, man.
So yeah, it's definitely dope, man. And we ain't even that far from each other. That's the crazy part.
The crazy part.
We didn't even plan it that way, man.
Yeah, we didn't plan it, but me and Jay Clyde are basically neighbors.
I can throw a rock, hit his building.
Yeah, you can see and the crazy part is the way it's built. even though, because we in the mountains, basically, we in Buenos Aires, it's like we gotta go. I still gotta go, even though I'm like a what 2 minute walk
Yeah,
from you.
it's right there.
We got to go all the way up around the hill and everything. But God, check this view out again, man. This was about in Medellin, the vistas, the views right here, man. We up high. We saw a plane take off, right? And the plane's like right, like we can see it diagonal.
Right there.
That's how high we are.
Yeah.
Can't believe it. Can't believe it, man.
Definitely one of the better spots I stayed at since I've been.
So, bro.
Yeah, I'll probably be dropping that video probably tomorrow or Friday on my channel. I got a little walkthrough of it.
All right, man. So let's get into the subject at hand, fellas. Now, there's been a lot of talk about Medellin, and first off, have you had any bad incidents since you've been coming to Medellin?
Nah, man. The worst incident I had probably on maybe my first or second trip here. I ordered an Uber. You know how most of these cars are the same colors, makes, and model. So I had like a silver, whatever, Fiat or whatever it was, pull up in front of my building. And I thought that was my Uber. So I jumped in it without double checking the license plate. So I get in the car and we go up probably like 400, 600 meters. And then I look on the app and I get the little notification that my car arrived. So I showed the driver, I was like, hey, this not you? And he was like, no. So he just put it in reverse and came down. So that was probably about the worst incident that I had. And then the only other incident I had is self-inflicted. Forgot my cell phone in a taxi. So other than that, those are the only two issues I've had, man, out here in Colombia, man.
Okay, so do you feel like tourists are making mistakes, or just like a random target, being drugged or robbed, or is it something that they can do to limit?
I mean, it's a combination of all of it. So I'll pretty much, it is a coordinated effort out here as far as the people that are doing like the things against the tourists, but also too, a lot of times whenever I hear those stories about bad things happening to fellas, if you hear the true story, if you ever hear the true story or the guys tell their story, it's going to always be some form of user error in there. Because you'll even hear when they're telling the stories, they'll say, I usually don't do this, but I normally don't do this. Most of the time I don't do this, but this time, so it's always some qualifying statement where they went against their better judgment or went against something that they normally wouldn't do, and that's usually how they get got. So that's what I hear most of the time whenever I hear those stories. I mean, and that's just dealing with like Chica robbery stories. If we're just walking outside and somebody roll up on you in a motor and rob you, you really can't do anything against that.
Right.
But as far as like someone coming inside your house, robbing you or drugging you or something like that, there's ways you can protect yourself against that. So there's a lot of user error in some of those stories too.
Okay. And like, what are like some general tips you would give to a guy that might be coming out here for his first time?
Watch your drink. Don't let anybody, don't let anybody make a drink for you, unless you're at like a restaurant or something like that. But as far as if you're bringing guests over, make your own drinks. I think what happens a lot of times, you come out here, you're in vacation mode, you got money in your pockets. So fellas want to feel like King Huncho. You posted up on the couch like this, and you got a girl over there making drinks just so you can be like, hey, I got a girl making the drinks. She'll end up giving something to drink. I'm drunk. So you just have to guard against stuff like that, man. Go over there, pick your own drink, own beer or something like that, man. So guard your drinks. That's the main thing I would say.
Okay. And as far as like Brazil is concerned, do you feel like Brazil is a tad bit safer, or are they both kind of the same? Or?
For me, I know that's a hot topic because some guys say they feel more danger in Brazil, but me personally, I don't feel any danger when I'm in Brazil. There's dangerous parts, of course, don't get me wrong, but if we're comparing the two places, and when I say Brazil, I'm specifically speaking about Rio de Janeiro and Medellin right now. I feel safer when I'm in Rio. Yeah, Medellin, just because I don't really hear any stories about people getting rolled up on, getting a drop on them or something out at like Copacabana Beach or Ipanema. They have so many police officers out there in the beach area, like it's gonna be tough. So
they be heavily armed too. They got the AKs, the ARs out there.
So they have little stuff like maybe have like pickpocket, or some little kids from the favelas might come snatching chains. They don't really snatch our chains. I've seen them do it to like other tourists that don't look like us. But I don't nearly hear the same amount of stories that I hear coming from here. but I haven't had any issues. It has a lot to do with how you move, so I haven't really had any issues in any of those places.
Now, if you had to move overseas to say full time, would you choose Colombia or Brazil? Tough one.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. Am I going to be working, or I'm rich and don't have to work?
Well, if you're rich, you can just keep.
I know, right? Nah, man, I like Brazil because it's more stuff to do. But I like Rio. I like Rio because it's more stuff to do. But I just like the city of Medellin. I like the city of Medellin. I like the infrastructure here.
Me too.
Yeah, I like the infrastructure. But yeah, that's a tough question, man. I would probably say, if I'm working, if I'm like a digital nomad or something, I would probably pick Medellin. If I'm like working on my own, or if I'm just like a content creator or something like that, if I'm working at my own pace, I would probably be in Rio.
Okay. All right. You got 85 in the room, guys. Do me a favor, make sure you hit that like button. I got another one for you, brother.
What you got? I'm here.
Brazil women or Colombia women?
My preference is in Medellin. That's what I like. So it all depends on the category, man. So we can go through a list of categories between Brazil, Colombia, Rio, Medellin, and it is Brazil got some of it, Colombia got, so it all depends on the category. But for me personally, I like the ladies here in Medellin. So you get more consistent beauty here, in my opinion. In Brazil, you're gonna see that 10. It's gonna be like ta-da. It's gonna be like some of the baddest that you probably seen. But you're also gonna see some ones and twos walking around too. Like when you're out here, for the most part, it's just more consistent. You see like 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a little bit more consistent. So I prefer it out here.
Okay. And as far as like personalities, differences in personalities in dating, you think Brazil, Colombia, women?
Well, I've dated in both, like real dating in both Brazil and Colombia, and it pretty much depends on how you vet the ladies out. I mean, I pretty much vet them out to my liking. So the ladies that I dealt with in Brazil, the ladies that I dealt with here in Colombia, is pretty much similar because I know what I like, and that's what I go after. So if we're just talking about in general, I mean, it just seems like they're more friendly and open to having fun and a good time in Rio. Like you go to like some of those random bars and whatnot. It just always seems like it's more of a party, have fun type atmosphere.
The only thing I don't like about Rio, man, is they just go for the gusto with the kissing too soon.
They do that.
Like they go with that. I mean, like you can meet her in 30 minutes. She's trying to tongue you down. You just like, whoa, wait a minute.
That is true. That is true. You could just be out. We could just be like 3 or 4 fellas. Like, hey, we about to just go out here to this little bar where they play like a little live music or something. You might encounter like a couple ladies, group of ladies or something, and if all y'all having fun, listening to music and drinking, yeah, if they're feeling you, they might end up doing something like that. That's right.
And you know, it's funny though. I will say, I agree. Like living here, I would like to live preferably in Colombia, Medellin. I still need to visit other cities. I like Barranquilla a little bit, but I love just the climate here in Medellin. And also, we're trying to learn Spanish. They speak pretty good Spanish, pronounced and everything. It's not like that rapid fire Spanish, the DR stuff like that. But I will say, Brazil has the best beach culture in the world.
Yeah, I love that.
Like in Brazil, you always have something to do.
I joke all the time, like when I'm out in Rio, man, and I guess it goes to the point too, as far as like what we talked about earlier before we started, as far as like the Airbnbs or whatnot. Like I guess it really don't matter what your Airbnb is like if you're out there visiting, because you're not going to spend any time in it. Because I joke all the time, like it's been cases in Rio where I leave out the house at 10 o'clock in the morning to go get breakfast, and I might not end up in that Airbnb until 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. Like it's just
all the
stuff
time
to do all day. Like you
all
end up
day
at the
long,
beach.
bro.
You end up at the beach for 5, 6 hours. Like you're just on the go, man. So definitely the beach culture.
I don't think I've ever walked so many miles. Thailand, we walked a lot, but especially in Brazil, you just walking because it's all down. You know, it's all flat.
I've walked all the way from Lemme all the way to LeBlanc. I've made that walk before. I made that walk from Lemme to LeBlanc and then back to Copacabana, and it don't even feel like you're walking that much. then I'll look at like my phone or something where it's tracking the steps. Like, man, I haven't taken that many steps before in my life. But yeah,
because you walking and you talking,
Yep.
and you got the beach right there,
Yep.
and you seeing beautiful women walk past.
That's true.
You just all tight. The music, I mean, it's just off the chain, man. I haven't really, honestly speaking, I haven't been in a country yet I didn't like.
I'm the same way too.
Yeah.
Like it's what you make of it, man. So pretty much everywhere I've been, I've enjoyed it. I haven't had any bad situations or things come up. Like whenever fellas are talking about, oh, this place is ruined, blah blah blah. Not for me. Like I'm here in Medellin almost every month. I mean, it's what you make of it and where you hang out at. If you want to be around the riffraff, you can go where it's at. If you don't want to hang around it, just don't go where it's at. Like I think a lot of fellas be capping on the internet talking about how certain places are ruined, but it's, in my opinion, it's not. I'll just go where you don't have to worry about that type of action if I don't want to see that type of action.
Yeah, like we know what they be talking about when they say places are ruined.
I know.
Brazil is just too big. It's just too big, bro.
Yeah.
And it's not enough of us out there. I think Sosua. I don't think you've been to Sosua.
I've been to Puerto Plata.
Puerto Plata. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Sosua is smaller. It's closer to America. You got a lot of Dominicans. They got family in New York, and that's like probably one of the worst places, in the world as far as relationships and dating. So I think that's what really happened as far as ruining things.
And I think too, it's only like certain parts. So just like
That's
even
another
here,
thing.
yeah,
Certain
just like
parts,
even here,
yeah.
you hear fellas online talking about Medellin is ruined as one part, man. Like we just showed you all of that. I can guarantee you all of that back there isn't ruined. It's only one part of the city. And it's the same way, just like in Rio de Janeiro, it's too big to be ruined. Just go, if that's your concern, just go where the tourists aren't at, go where that type of action isn't at. And it's not going to be ruined for you. And that's what I do most of the time. Just if I want to get away from tourist zones and tourists, I just go where the tourists aren't.
Okay. And before we go, man, because we'll keep this short, we got to get in them streets.
It's still early too.
It's still early.
Man. It's just getting dark. It's getting dark quick.
Right. But what do you think about, just your opinion about this passport bros thing, man? All the heat that we ain't got, the people coming at us. Like, what's your opinion on, the passport bros situation?
I think a lot of it, to be honest with you, people know if you put that in the algorithm, it's going to get you some views. I don't know the people that's throwing the hate out there. I don't know if it's affecting them that much. I think they just want to get TikTok views or YouTube views, Instagram. Me personally, I'm not the type to worry about what other people are doing if it's not affecting me. So I just can't really fathom like all the hate that people throw in regards to that situation. Now, I mean, I'm also too. I'm never one to try to tell people what to do with their content. Their content is their content, so that's what they want to make their content based on. Have at it. I just don't understand it because, I mean, also too, I think like the movement kind of got hijacked by some other people on some colored pill side of things. But I think that's part of it too. So I think a lot of the videos that's going at passport bros per se, I don't know if those people that they're talking about or going at are really passport bros. I think it's just some guys and other movements that's just jumping on that train as a way to try to have that gender war type thing. So I don't even know it.
Because the guys that's really traveling, like the guys that's out there in the international streets, you don't even be concerned about really what's going on in America, because we got to learn another language.
Right.
We got to make sure that there's so much stuff we got to be concerned with.
I'm out here in Medellin. I don't have time to be going on TikTok trying to have a gender war with some chick and talking about some go get your passports. I'm out here chilling and having fun, man. That's the least of my worries is what's going on back in the United States or trying to throw some foreign women or passports in somebody's face. I don't care about this stuff.
Facts, man. But shout out to the channel before we go, bro.
Yeah, man. You can subscribe to my channel. It's at It's J Clyde. I pretty much do a lot of Airbnb walkthroughs for the most part. I do like some other little. Sometimes I walk through like some cities or something. But yeah, it's J Clyde. That's my YouTube channel. You can hit subscribe and I'll try to drop some more videos. I got some plans. I got some plans for the channel since I'm spending time out here. So I look forward to some more videos.
All right, man. Appreciate you coming on the show once again.
Sure, no doubt, man. It's third time.
Peace.
All right, man.
Y'all go, hey, download the app.
That's great.